Hey, what's up, everyone? Back for this Saturday early slate. We're gonna look at the five game slate for today. I already posted my main slate video out, so you can check that out for tonight. Let's jump into this slate. You can drop a like and subscribe down below. I appreciate that. On this slate, we have one really good pitcher in Mike Soroka. Then we have a couple of, and Brandon Woodruff's pretty good too. But we have a couple of expensive guys like Lance Lynn is over $10,000. Woodruff's over 10,000 too. Roark is almost 10,000 at 9,600. So given the lack of pitching options, they have really priced up the decent arms that we have. Soroka is probably the best option out of that group. Just been outstanding this season. A 1.07 ERA, 46 strikeouts in just over 50 innings. He has not got blown up once this whole year. He's only given up one home run, and he's only given up 30 hits. Really good numbers for Soroka, outstanding numbers. And it's a good matchup against this Tigers team that strikes out a bunch. And the fact that the Braves are extremely heavy favorites here makes me love Mike Soroka here at 10-9. So he is expensive, but out of him or Lynn, you would definitely want to pay up for Soroka, I would believe. And then I'm going to go with Sean Anderson. He has a little bit of upside. In AAA, he had like a 9.5 K per 9. But I think it's a pretty good matchup here against the Orioles to get some more strikeouts. He's faced a couple of teams that don't strike out that much, and he has gotten kind of hit hard by them against the Braves and the Diamondbacks. And today we don't have like any quality pitcher below 7,000 on this slate, so you're gonna have to kind of get tricky. I don't mind playing like Bailey or Kingham, just for the value and just for the savings, and hope that they can put up like a decent score. Out of those two, I'd probably go with Bailey, who's at least shown the ability to put up some decent games. But Anderson at 7,200, the Orioles have a pretty low total, lowest out of some of the other teams some of the other pitchers that are this cheap. And he has a little bit of upside, so I'll take a chance on him. All right, that being said, for stacks today, I really love I like a couple teams. I like the Giants a ton against David Hess. And I mean, how could you not? He has given up 18 home runs in just 51 innings. He has 44 strikeouts, and he has given up 19 walks. Just terrible numbers for him. I love the Brewers lefties against Kingham. Kingham has gotten destroyed against lefties this year and last year's 2-year career. And the Brewers have a couple of tremendous lefty hitters, a couple of great hitters against righties that are lefties, in Yelich and Moustakas. And I definitely want to target probably some Rangers against Bailey in this heat. Don't have a ton of interest here except maybe a couple of cheap Reds. And the final game, load up on some of the righties against Daniel Norris. All right, so the first guy I'm going to go with is going to be first baseman Brandon Belt. He's pretty cheap at $4,000. He has a good amount of power. This year, he has a decent ISO against righties, and he's pretty cheap at $4,000. Out of anybody on the Giants, I would feel most confident that he would have a home run today if I had to pick one. Who would go deep on the Giants? I would probably be Belt. It's a good matchup here. He gets a platoon matchup against David Hess. And this year he is batting 248 against right-handed pitching. 6 of his 8 home runs have come against lefties. And he has a 274 ISO and a 522 slugging. And his strikeout numbers are way down against righties. So I really like the spot for Brandon Belt. Just given the amount of home runs Hess gives up and the amount of hard contact. And especially in this ballpark, like the Giants got a huge ballpark upgrade going into Camden Yards for this series. So it seems like a really good spot to target some of them. To target some of the Giants hitters here. And Hess he's been a little worse against righties. But lefties have hit him pretty hard too. He's getting up 18 home runs to lefties for his career. So I don't mind Belt at just $4,000. Next up, I kind of like Joe Panik as well. He's really cheap at just $3,600. Another lefty, but he's going to be batting leadoff against Hess. Should get plenty of opportunities, plenty of at-bat opportunity, and plenty of chances to potentially do some damage here. Doesn't have a ton of upside, but he can definitely get on base, and he has a little bit of speed, and he can definitely get a couple doubles. I mean, he has 10 doubles on the year, and hitting in this ballpark, I don't mind going with the leadoff hitter at 3,600 against Hess. So I like him a little bit. At third base, I like Austin Riley, 4,900 for Riley against Norris. Riley has been on fire since he's been called up. An absolute ton of power for him. Ton of power for Austin Riley. And he's facing a pitcher, a lefty, that gives up a ton of home runs. Norris has given up 9 home runs on the year, and he's been much, much worse to right-handed hitters, as you would expect. It's only been a 11 at-bat sample size, but he has gone yard 4 out of his 11 at-bats against lefties. Has Austin Riley outstanding numbers, like the ISO, everything is jumping off the page. Very limited at-bats, but he has the ability to go yard here in this good weather and the way he's been hitting the ball as of late. I like him a ton. And last but not least, I'll probably go with Ronald Kunia Jr. at 4,700. Another guy that should really benefit here against Norris. Acuna has a lot of power against left-handed pitching. Over his career, we'll look at his career numbers against lefties. This year, he has some decent numbers. Well, he has 5 home runs and just 46 at-bats, which is a 391 ISO and a 647 slugging, so not decent. Those are outstanding numbers. And for his career, he has a 296 average against lefties and a 282 average against righties. And the ISO is off the charts, 321 against lefties and a 617 slugging percentage. So I really like going with some Braves and going with some Giants. Both teams are facing pretty bad lefties. Well, I mean, the Braves are facing a lefty, the Orioles are facing a righty, but both teams are facing really bad pitchers. And besides those two teams, like I said, I have interest in the Brewers against Kingham. Kingham has been really bad to lefties this year. And so my favorite play would obviously be Christian Yelich on the Brewers side. But you're not getting them at any discount. Like, they're all priced up. All the lefties on the Brewers are priced up. Well, the good lefties in Yelich and Moustakas. He's given up a 719 slugging to lefties this year. And career-wise, he's given up a 627 slugging against lefties as Kingham. So, out of this group, like Thames, I like Thames a bit. He's pretty cheap. Moustakas is 5,200. And maybe Ben Gamel if he's going to be in the lineup. I don't mind him. And Yelich, obviously. And then for this Texas team, they have hit Bailey pretty hard in his career. Gallo has a home run off of him. He's perfect against Bailey. So I don't mind going Gallo if you can pay up for him. And if you need some savings, I think you could find some savings with the Cincinnati Reds. And going with a guy like Jesse Winker at 3,800. Very cheap. Or going with Puig as well, who's very cheap at 3,900. Both players have a ton of power. So, and with this Braves team, if you can get some discounts, I mean, you're not getting a lot of discount here. I mean, what happened to Culberson? He's not getting a ton of playing time, but if he gets some playing time here, I won't mind him. He has some good numbers against lefties. And I'm really not interested in a lot of the Detroit hitters against Soroka. Although you could take a chance on Nika Goodrum and hope he stays hot after his 5-for-5 game. That kind of feels like chasing to me. But he's at 3,200. If he stays hot, that's good for you. If he doesn't do anything, it's not going to kill you at this price tag. So don't mind going with a couple guys against your pitchers just to be a little different. But that should do it for this video. Those are some of the highlights that I like for this slate. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You can drop a like down below, and good luck today.